Hey everybody in the VC, this is Ron. I'm back with another video, and this time around I'm going to do a bird's eye video. So I'm just going to hang my camera up over my singles box and give you guys a bird's eye view of everything. And I got some cool things lined up. I've got some domestics, some imports, some picture sleeves. So I'm just going to hide in the shadows and talk about them. And so if you're ready, just kick back and enjoy. Okay, we're going to get started with some animals, and this is House of the Rising Sun US picture sleeve, and on the flip it's got Talking About You. And yeah, of course this is the famous, or I should say infamous version that was just slaughtered on the edit. Whoever did that should be shot. They cut the whole organ solo out and pieced it together really sloppily. I mean, it's just terrible. I mean, they could at least left the full-length version on the album. I'm sure there was room. But, yeah, luckily they released it the way it should have been released in the first place later on. This is a non-US 45, and it's the hit It's My Life. And, the B-side is a little-known tune called I'm Going to Change the World, and both of these were not on an album. 1965. This is 45 of CC Rider, and then the flip, it's got She'll Return It, which is also a non-album cut. This is a 1967 Psych era single, When I Was Young. And the flip side is a girl named Sandoz, and Sandoz was a type of LSD. And this is just a great record here. Both sides are just great. This is Eric Burdon and the Animals Monterey, tribute to the Monterey Pop Festival, 1967. And it's got a non-album B-side, Ain't That So? And this is the reissue of House of the Rising Sun in Glorious Mono, the unedited full-length version. And the flip is Bring It On Home. And I believe this is released in the 70s originally, 70s pressing. Okay, I'm going to show some weird Beatles, just some non-capital labels. MGM, My Bonnie. John Lennon doing Ain't She Sweet on Atco. Just some weird VJ labels. I don't have any of the ones that are like super valuable, but yeah, the VJ had so many different labels, it's unreal. And it's all the same songs too, they just kept reissuing different labels. Then a couple on Tolly, Love Me Do on Tolly with P.S. I Love You. And this one's got Twist and Shout. And it's got a non-album track on the B-side, There's a Place. She Loves You on Swan. Yeah, I used to be a really huge Beatles fan from about 75 to 85. And then I really started branching out and discovering other bands. This is the Belfast Gypsies, Gloria's Dream on Loma. Is it Loma? Yeah, Loma. And it's basically, they plagiarized Gloria, but it's a really cool song. Produced by Kim Fowley, who recently passed away a week or two ago. And it's got Secret Police on the flip side. This is a cool 45. This is a live version of Crossroads from the album Wheels of Fire. And the cool thing about this is it's got a promo-only edit. On the stock versions of this 45, the length was 4 minutes and 16 seconds, but on the promo version of it, it's 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And instead of like fading the song out towards the end of the recording, they actually like kind of did what they did on that Animals House of the Rising Sun, but they did a better job at it, where they like edited a guitar solo out and then pieced the ending of the recording to where they started the edit. So it makes a very unique version of it, and like I said, they did do a good job of the editing. So that's pretty cool. That's the only way that you can get that edit is on this Promo 45. This is a Japanese Golden Select Best 6 EP. This record actually has 6 songs on it, and it plays at 33 1/3, and it's from the early 70s. And it's got White Room, Anyone for Tennis, which is a rarity, Sunshine for Your Love, Tales of Brave Ulysses, Badge, which is kind of a rarity, and it's got a small spindle hole, cardboard sleeve, just a great picture on the front. Cool record. Here's another, this is from the 70s, it's like a reissued Cream Japanese single, and it's got Sunshine for Your Love and Swallowbur, or I don't know how you pronounce that. It's pretty weird, but it's an interesting picture. It's like they set up a stage out on the street. I would really like to know what that's from. Is it just some sort of like a Beatles rooftop concert type of thing that they did out on the street, or what? So if anybody knows, let me know, because it looks really cool, whatever they did. Donovan, Hurdy-Gurdy Man, Jimmy Page on guitar. Deep Purple on Tetragrammaton label. That incidentally is a different version of The Bird Has Flown. It's different from what's on the album. And the B-side, or actually this is the A-side, Emeretta, which is a non-album track. And like I said before, Bill Cosby was co-owner on this label. And if you look at the publishing company, it's Ganja Music. And you may know that ganja is an Indian word for marijuana. And I remember I was looking through some singles once, and I came across a Fat Albert record, and it was on this label, and the publishing company was Ganja. So here we have a kid's record, Fat Albert, and the publishing company is Ganja. Easybeats, Friday on My Mind. And this is from the first album. This is from actually the first US album. They had some early albums in Australia, but this is from the first US album. This is from the second US album, and this is an alternate take of Gonna Have a Good Time. And the B-side is not on a 45, or not on an album, I'm sorry. And this had George Young, Harry Vanda writing team was in this band, and George Young, you may know, was the uncle of Angus and the other guy in AC/DC, Angus, and you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, he was their uncle. So yeah, I'm gonna try get to the point where I have to pull all these records out of here. Here's an interesting one, and it's The End, Shades of Orange, co-written by Bill Wyman of the Stones, and he produced it. And this is a 45 that was actually on an album. And I remember seeing Shades of Orange on an early Beatles bootleg. They were presenting it as the Beatles and the Stones together in the studio. So that was just a bunch of BS by some bootleggers. But the cool thing about this, it's on a promo label, and it's actually on a Shades of Orange label. So if that is really cool. It's just quite the coincidence because the stock copies would be on a Shades of Blue label. So that's just a really cool thing. And I think if I eBayed this record, I think I could get about 40 for it. It's pretty cool. This is Joker's Wild, early David Gilmour band, and nothing spectacular. And this was actually off of this was never really released. It's off of an acetate, and it's like a bootleg from the 80s, and a numbered edition out of 1,000 copies, and I got 665. I almost got 666. Pretty close call there. I'm glad I didn't get that number. But yeah, this is pretty interesting, you know. By Tom Records. Why Do Fools Fall in Love, which was a hit for Frankie Lyman and Teenagers. This is Kinks on Cameo, Long Tall Sally, and I Took My Baby Home. And this is an original copy, pretty decent shape. And there's actually 2 issues of this, and this is the second issue. The first issue is worth a lot of money. This is still pretty valuable, but not as valuable as that first issue. And it's pretty rare. I mean, that's like the only one I've ever seen. It's pretty lucky to have this. And this is kind of a bootleg EP that came out in the 70s. And this may have actually had a picture sleeve with it. I'm not sure about that. But it's got the 2 tracks from the single I just showed you. And then these 2 songs I think were like also on Cameo, but they may have been promo only or something like that. I can't remember the story on it, but there was never ever a 4-song EP like this on Cameo. This is total bootleg. This is You Really Got Me on the pink label, the first issue. And the B-side is It's Alright. This is Sunny Afternoon with the non-album track, I'm Not Like Everybody Else. This is Sitting on My Sofa, which also was not on an album, and Dedicated Follower Fashion. Dead End Street, non-album. Big Black Smoke, non-album. Kinks singles from this era are hard to find because they didn't sell very well. So it's pretty scarce 45 there. Okay, I'm going to try not to talk too much about these. I'm just going to kind of whip through some of these. B-side of Nice and White Satin, non-album track. This is The Nice and promo single, and this is a non-album track. Azrael, Angel of Death. Italian, Point Me at the Sky, 1970s issue, non-album. Procol Harum, Whiter Shade or Pale, promo, non-album B-side, Lime Street Blues. See Emily Play, original UK in company sleeve, Scarecrow and the Flip. Pictures of Matchstick Men and Gentleman Joe's Sidewalk Cafe. Really cool hit there. Pop-psych. Itchy Park, Small Faces, and I'm Only Dreaming. Grounded, The Sin, and created by Clive. That was actually done also by, I believe it was The Attack. And I actually found this in a thrift store, And created by Clive is kind of a UK pop psych. And the flip side is real cool garagey track. And the Sin were actually the band that eventually morphed into Yes. I can't remember the details about the band members. I think Chris Squire was in there. I didn't research, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot things, but I know that this band did actually become Yes, so it's pretty cool. Great record. This is Skip Bifferty, and I showed a Skip Bifferty album in one of my videos, and actually when I bought that album, this record was inside. So they may have been sold together because they're on the same label, Essex. And one of the tracks on here, The Man in Black, not about Johnny Cash, but was actually produced by Ronnie Lane, and if that's the Ronnie Lane, he was in Small Faces. So that's kind of interesting. So this is a real cool record of tracks that aren't on that album. This is a Swedish band, and this is actually a Swedish pressing, Savage Rose, and this is a pretty cool record. This is pretty early for them. It's like 1968. Male-female band, and these guys look like twins. Obviously they are twins. So it's a pretty cool record. This is The Tower, and this is a great monumental Psych 45 here. Dutch, and I think this is probably from around 69, 68, 69. I think it's 69. And this is just really cool 45. So that's definitely one to have. The Tower. I've got some them singles, Gloria, and I got Here Comes the Night, and All For Myself might be non-album. I can't, it's been a long time since I've studied these things, and my memory's kind of faded. But here's a Wild Thing, Troggs, and this came out in two ways. Originally, actually several different ways. Originally it was released on Atco, I believe, and you notice the writing credit is Presley, and Reg Presley was the singer of the Troggs. And then it was reissued again with the correct writing title of Chip Taylor. And that's got With a Girl Like You on the flip. And then this is another Atco, and it's I Can't Control Myself, and I'm gonna make you. And then it was released again on Fontana, and correct writing credit. So it's weird. These early Troggs singles and albums, they were released on Fontana and Atco, and I don't know what the whole story is behind that, but it's pretty weird. Love's All Around, When Will the Rain Come? That was originally 45 only. French, pretty cool picture sleeve. German, This has got the B-side, Maybe the Mad Mine, which is like a heavy psych killer, kind of in the vein of I Am the Walrus by the Beatles. Okay, people, that's the end of part 1, and join me next time for part 2, and that will be coming along quite shortly. So until then.